So here we are again, back at the drawing board. Not that I'm saying I'd want anything else. The ability to start over with you, my angel. That's all I could ask for in this world. In fact, everything I've worked so hard for, it's all come to fruition today, where we can go and experience the world free of any dastardly villains, without having to worry about the safety of us or those we take care of. Instead, we can enjoy it. And well, even my other side may come out and have a little fun. I'd like to see us as two sides of the same coin. Both you and I, and my demon and I. It all proves to be such a delicate balance, and yet I can't find any reason not to believe in it. Mostly because I know you, Angel, and you know both of us quite well. And while the world largely has a bit of a divide in terms of things, even those who are sick, I can't find too much reason to hold it against them. I pity them, even if the resentment is there, to want to cure them by force, to play the part of the chaperone instead of the equal. But I think through our closeness and your understanding a different perspective, I've come to understand it's not quite so simple, and that those who may be sick may not all be sick in ways that need a cure. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say I've been wrong about a lot of things. And I do look back without those rose-tinted glasses, and I see myself for what I am. A man who has much to learn, but doesn't shy away from admittance of a better way. Besides, my original lofty goals no longer seem to have the draw after things turned around. After you calmed my demons, I found a way that nobody really has to be hurt, because my paradigm shift went from macro to micro. Now, your smile means more to me than curing the whole world. Speaking of which, my angel, I was hoping you'd give me your hand. Thank you. This is for you. It's a bracelet. I've recently been trying to learn how to use my quirk to create more delicate things, and I made this for you. While it's not chemically composed of what normally jewelry would be, what you'll feel is the texture is slightly more feathery. It's still technically a golden wristband, a bangle, if you will. And while things may seem a bit clunky. I hope it's something you won't mind keeping. I understand if it's not nice enough to wear, as it's kind of first attempt. Don't feel bad. It's okay. I worked hard, and, well, it was something of a difficult trial for me, trying to get things just right. I know I can do better in the future, and you'd think having a surgeon's precision and being able to help people with delicate things in their body would make me good at metalworking, but turns out it's not so easy. Your reaction, it gives me a lot of hope. I'm surprised. I expected you wouldn't like it so much. But the fact that you do, it's very kind of you. Well, not to say kind, but reassuring. It makes me feel like the sentimental value is there. That what I did matters. Like I've left a footprint somewhere in this world. A ripple in your heart. And I couldn't ask for anything more than that. In fact, I'd say that made my day completely. And while I could just go on and on, I want today to be the best it can be. And that's exactly what I am going to make it. I'll have to rearrange how I look. No, I know. Before, my quirk wouldn't work on myself. But I learned a sort of bypass. It helps me and allows for fun little things. Maybe you're right. Maybe we could go out just as we are. I shouldn't be hiding. After all, I can protect you. I'm quite good at it. And anyone who would get in our way would have to be an utter fool. So, is that what you're going in today? Your outfit suits you surprisingly well, and it makes me feel like you're looking forward to it just as much as me. I've always been paranoid with the feelings of love, and if they were never quite even, the balance would be thrown off, wouldn't it? But with you, I've never once had that fear. Your selflessness, it's endearing, but it also makes me want to give more too. And I'll keep you extra healthy. I'm so sorry if I've ever let you down in the early phases of things. I know I was quite difficult. It was certainly anything but kind. And I know it wasn't me directly, but Asmund didn't mean for it to be that way. He was protecting what he thought needed to be done. Causing people to fear you is a good way to make them think you're not soft not weak, not able to be touched. And here we are. It's thanks to you. And well, we've only met on a number of occasions. I want you to know you're different. You're not sick. You're a vaccine. I want to get to know you too, so that maybe you can cure my anger just as well as Kai's. I'm so sorry if I've done too much, or if you hate me, but I at least want to make up for it. I want you to see me in all my light, instead of just the dark, instead of just my horrible weaknesses and terrible tendencies. I want to be more than my faults. And you've given me so much hope, just like you've given Kai. I want you to feel extra special, even if I'm just a fragment. I can still see what he sees, and I might even have time of my own. And that makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm human instead of just some kind of demon. And I think, well, I don't mind being called one. I'd like to be a gentle, kind one, if that's an option. You've certainly got a way with words, and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Perhaps you found the cure for a broken heart just for me. That's more than I could ever ask for. Sorry, it's Kai again. I think you've made his day. He's very, very happy to hear from you and get to say the words that we both resonate. Though I think that was his heart, his words. I can't claim them, nor would I ever want to, because he's his own person, even though we share a body. And as shameless as it is, I think you've made him feel so much more alive. The hate's slowly melting away. I can feel more happiness. And because everything is what it is in our relationship, because you are precisely who you are, he's able to progress just like he always wanted to. That makes things even better, because there's no way he'd want for you to think he's not improving. He's proud of it, just like I'm proud of him. That means a lot, coming from you especially. Also, shouldn't we be going? You're right. I was the one who held things up. Ari, won't you take care of everything today? It's all gonna be okay, I promise. And you don't have to worry. because we'll be back before you know it, okay? You take care of the other children. You're like their big sister, and I have a lot of faith in you. Remember, you can always call us back, and we'll be here in a jiffy. I promise. Goodbye now. Stepping out without my mask, it kind of makes me nervous. And yet here we are, 2 peas in a pod. You look amazing. And in fact, I'm able to breathe the same fresh air, experience the same wonderful moment with you. It is a breath of fresh air in every sense of the word. I'm so happy I was able to make something special for you. But the real special starts with the day, braving the unknown and going out and about, just enjoying ourselves. I didn't make plans on the account that I thought it'd be more fun to let it be exactly as spontaneous and wonderful as we are in life. Not that I'm saying I didn't make any kind of plan. It's more like I brought us some options which we can decide on. Or if you want to take things like that, we can walk around, talk it out, spend time cuddling, and maybe even find something we never expected. A new hobby, a precious memory. All of it matters beyond anything else to me. Because you're my real reason. Now that I've seen it, the future we could have together, and the feelings that always overflow, I'm addicted to it in the best possible way. And I'm sure, despite my metabolism being perfect, or my immune system being extraordinary, let alone my quirk being able to correct any illness, I feel I've gotten lovesick with you. The diagnosis is definitely going to need a kiss to cure me. It's not your fault. But, nurse, what are you going to do? This doctor here needs saving from his wonderful angel of a nurse. Only you can do it, because my heart and my mind, I'm afraid, can't be operated on by anyone else. You alone hold the expertise and the proper tools for the job. In fact, I think, yes, I'm afraid it's fatal. If I couldn't even get that. Ah, yes. After some preliminary screenings, we've determined that the patient's going to make a full recovery. All thanks to the brave nurse. Now, my angel, let's go. I've got so much in store. Even if it's the simplest day ever, we'll make it something extraordinary. Because no matter what we do, as long as it's with you, I know it's gonna be the most exciting day of my life. And I'll be damned if I don't make it the most exciting day of yours. What are you waiting for? Nurse, this is a serious case of mental boredom. I've got a cure in you. Now, what do you say I implement the same technique that you just did on me when I was your patient? Good news, nurse. I'm afraid there's no trace of boredom on your features, so I can say on my Hippocratic oath that you're no longer sick. Not even a bit. Angel, you've made me feel so many feelings, and you really are like my nurse, my beautiful angelic nurse. Now, I'm going to still have to stay nearby, maybe even keep you over for observation, making sure you don't relapse or have any complications. Now, firstly, I think it's time you had some proper nourishment. Let's go and get something nice to eat. Well, it's purely because the diagnosis insists, and the doctor's always right. So you should always remember, I'm not here to cure you. I'm here to take preventative measures, so that just in case you fall ill and madly in love with me, I can cure you on the spot. Now, what kind of nourishment do you think I should prescribe? I'm thinking what might do you some good is some nice sushi. Besides, it's high in protein and gives you lots and lots of nutrients because it's raw. Even better would be sashimi. We could always get something like that too. Here we are, my favorite sushi restaurant. Well, in all my years of practicing, I've never really grown too accustomed to which places I like or don't like. In fact, it's only recently that I found love of sushi, love of other things, which add to my repertoire of tools I can use to turn today into something more special. Of course, it's all just part of the diagnosis and preventative measures. But I'd be a liar if I said I didn't greatly enjoy it. The tender morsels, the fun way of eating it, it all makes the atmosphere so lively. And the added benefit that it gets here quick. Always puts a smile on my face to see you smiling too. That's the whole purpose of today, to smile together and experience something beyond just words. Let's make it a memory. That's why I don't think I'll ever forget today. If for no other reason than, well, Esmo may have just become slightly more open about things. Maybe just a bit more of his own person. And that makes me happy to see him succeed where he used to think it was all just hatred consuming him. And now he can be something more. I'd say that despite my pride as a doctor, you've done what I couldn't. What a nurse you are, my angel. You change everything in the best way. And it makes me so happy. Happy to know that I could enjoy such a time with you. That you actually want to be here with me. It's still baffling. I'm not a doctor of the mind, really. If I was, one of the many specializations in that field, I think I'd still be baffled. You've defied all my expectations and given me hope where previously it just couldn't exist. My parents really did put me through the ringer, per se. And while I could sit here and think of those negative things, I'd just like to leave it as you've managed to undo most every hurt that they've done, the scars fading with time, and giving me a chance to breathe freer than I've ever been before. I feel like I'm a new man, and it's all thanks to you. I would be helpless, hopeless without you. Running an orphanage, a clinic without any passion. Sure, I didn't want to be them, but I had no passion in the end result, other than my pride. Lacked that extra unseen force that just doesn't work unless you have it. The passion. That's what you've brought into my life above all else. Passion and happiness. I've always wanted to be happy, and even despite my struggles, I found something in you and in myself that's led me to my passions of not only making right what I used to think was wrong, but also on accepting my faults and my mistakes, changing them before I let them get out of hand. And that way, there'll be no stopping it. When us together have our lives in order, when everything comes together, and we can smile and say, we've cured the world one smile at a time, and that we've made people happy, and that we ourselves are super happy. That's my dream. I couldn't ask for anything more than that. Not only because everything's been so hectic, but just because where things left off, I felt like there wasn't any place where I truly belonged and I was an outcast, someone who lost themselves to their bitterness. And now instead, with your wings, Angel, you've changed it. My perception, my view on things, it's all become so much nicer. I see the world in such better light. And I know it's not all out to get me. And I don't have to be cutthroat or work with the crime I used to feel obligated to. I don't need to rely on them anymore. And so I won't. I would never. It'd be completely horrible to go back. And I have no intentions of ever looking back. Because that'd be the same as giving up. And I can't do that anymore. I spent so long doing it, forcing my ideals on others, hoping that somehow it'd make me feel like I was doing something. And in the end, I couldn't realize why I was feeling so empty until I tried to make you like me. And I discovered I couldn't until my inner demons, which aren't so bad themselves, took out that anger, and still you were kind. There was no way either of us could find any kind of weapon to use against you, no tool to cure you, nor anything to make you disappear. You were invincible, a deity to me in that moment. Not that I believe in them. No, that wasn't it. You saved me in a purely believable manner, and that's why I know it. Our future together is going to be as sweet as an eel roll and as delicate as unagi. It's going to be a life as tender and wonderful as, well, as your eyes are sweet. You've made me quite a lot different too. Despite all of the changes, you've made me into someone I'm more proud of. You've helped me let go of the hatred and channel it into something that actually matters to me. It's good to do something that actually feels real instead of something that feels like a fake escape. Running forever gets tiring. But thanks to you, I have something where I don't need to run anymore. A life I actually want instead of one I feel I need. My altruistic goals that used to sweep me up, the good I thought I was doing, is now no longer blinding me. It's so much easier to make things than it is to break them down. I see that now. And even then, you've made it seem so easy to break down my walls like they're made of paper. I'm impressed. You've been such an amazing influence. It makes me, my heart flutter. I just think at this point, I'm the luckiest doctor in the world, the luckiest man. Perhaps I really am terminal with love as the killer. There is no cure for it, I know. Only things that can hold me off. And the more distance we have, I'm afraid it will take a toll on me. There's only so much I can take without your love to sustain me. Perhaps you'd like to assist me in a way that's even more. I've never been the type to rely heavily on others because I never had anyone like that. But you've broken through all of that apprehension that built up over years in a matter of what seems like no time at all. I truly love you. That's quite the feat, isn't it? Someone who was guarded, expecting the world to expect nothing of me. And worse yet, swearing on everything I was that someone was going to backstab me. Yet here we are, together, eating a happy meal on a happy day, without a care in the world. And I think I much prefer it this way. No quirks to get in the way, no villains or heroes. We're just two individuals, a doctor and his nurse, madly in love, in their forbidden relationship with no cure in sight. And that's exactly how I want it to be. I'm sure you feel the same, right? Your expression tells me more than I could ever ask for in words. And that alone, it makes me feel like I'm special. I haven't felt this way since before everything fell apart. And it's all thanks to you. Now, of course, as your doctor, I can't prescribe you to go on your way. I'm afraid we'll have to stay very near. Contact with the cure is essential, and therefore I must prescribe some quality cuddles come the end of our meal. Or right now, since you can't seem to wait. You're just the right amount of soft and beautiful, cool and awesome. I can't get enough of you. Thank you for showing me that there's still much to learn, and even though my years of practicing, I've still got so much that I can offer, so much more that I can show you. And of course, I still struggle with those tendencies of the past. But I think with my angel by my side, there's nothing to worry about. Instead, it's much more prudent to worry about what we wish to do. Isn't there something in that heart of hearts that you absolutely want to do? Oh, quite the cheeky experimental process, isn't it? You want to undergo that kind of surgery. Not that I'm going to complain. After all, you're in capable hands. I'll make sure to perform my best, the best I've ever done in all my years of practicing. After all, mending a broken heart is a delicate procedure, one that can't be rushed or slowed too much, and that alone makes it special. I know you've had it rough. You've had a life that's been handed to you in a bad way. People have forced their ideas and you've always had to bear with things you never should have. But I'll make sure that's not anymore. Instead, I'll take care of everything. I'll make sure that you have exactly what it is you need in order to be free of those chains that bind you. That's exactly what a good doctor is. Someone who's like family. But I think with you, my angel, everything's taken so much more. I just can't get enough of you. It makes me so happy. Happy to know you're such a wonderful, wonderful person. And the proud recipient of my most prized possession. Why, a doctor's passion. My passion. All I could ever ask is that the symptoms you're feeling when you look at me never go away. Perhaps it's against the oath, but as long as you're with me, feeling happy, that's more than enough. I guess you won't have to worry about the medical bills. Because, well, the last thing I want is you to be deaded to me. No. I'd rather have a debt of love that neither of us can ever get out of. I'll loan you my heart if you'll agree to give me payments of yours. Sound like a deal? Now, I did have some other possibilities of where we could go, but I think this took up everything. And I can't imagine letting my patient go out with such a severe case of falling in love. I'd have to make things special. So, why don't we go and relax? Well, of course, as your doctor, I can't just let you off on your own. Now come on. This way. Did you enjoy the meal? My favorite part was your smile. But I think I'm still hungry for dessert. It's against my practice, but I think I'll make an exception just for you. And how could I wait? Every moment the symptoms get more severe. I fear there may be a withdrawal in all of this. Something I can't do without. And that's certainly your attention. That cute smile of yours. And all those thoughts dancing behind your eyes. I'm sure you're imagining something. And I think it's time I make you feel it. What it's like, you know, to experience those thoughts. The ones you don't have the courage to say out loud without blushing. No, I'm not poking fun at you. Not in the slightest. Instead, I just think it's so damn cute. Perhaps it's unprofessional of me to say, but there's no way I can't. I'm afraid there's little I can do to stop the inevitable treatment, and I'm afraid the illness has become quite severe. I'll have to operate immediately. 'Immediately. 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 Don't you worry, because the doctor is you're in good hands, and I'll make sure the sickness we call love is solved in one fell swoop. One kiss, one touch at a time. Why don't we solve the issue of your deepest, darkest fantasies? What's the matter? You seem rather embarrassed. Nurse, no. Angel, what's on your mind? No, but I need to know. Otherwise, how will I diagnose a cure for what ails you? We need to know just what symptoms plague you. There seems to be tension here. Perhaps we'll need to take more drastic measures. Now, just relax. The good doctor will take care of you. Oh, this place is my spare practicing office. It's in truth just a building that I repurposed for the sake of, well, not what we're doing today. No, this is a special operation. Why don't I put you on the operating table? Just like this. It's more of a chair than a table, isn't it? But it helps me to see just what's going wrong. It looks like you have an acute case of desire. I can tell by the way your breath is getting shorter, how you get nervous when I trail my fingers beside you, when I give you a kiss. Now we'll have to secure you, just like this. Don't struggle now. I wouldn't want you to get hurt, my angel. No, today is going to be my finest work. But first, we have to tend a topical cure to your most devastated area. I'm afraid things here look like a complete mess. It seems that we'll need to get you cleaned up before we operate. What a lively patient you've become. Once I start the actual procedure, don't you know, it's imperative that the area be clean and properly taken care of. Is it helping? No, I think it's made things worse. Perhaps we need to take drastic measures. But perhaps the traditional means is just what you need. Judging by your reaction, I can tell things are working properly. Now there's only one thing left. I'll need to make drastic means to ensure that my patient is properly functional for the operation. So why don't you tell me, can you feel this? Good. What about this? Excellent. Now, what about this? Well, the operation was time sensitive, so there was no way I could just do things by the slow and steady. So just relax, and I'll perform the operation. Of course, mild discomfort is unfortunately something that can happen. Be sure I will take the utmost care in ensuring the operation is mutually successful. And of course, there's everything in my power that I'll take to make sure that my dear nurse is cured of her illness. It seems you've become sick in a whole new way. And I can't just let this sickness contract into its worst form. I must sate this beautiful, wonderful feeling at its source. And that's why it's so imperative that we undergo things now and not delay. What would you have done if it had gotten critical and we had to do this procedure outside? It's something delicate, and I'm sure, well, it would make things more sure to be exciting. It certainly may cause complications. Now, trust in my ability and relax. I'll take good care of you, my angel. You're safe with me. And you're forever mine. That's right. Just relax, my angel. And well, I'd say the procedure was a success through and through. Is there any lingering discomfort? Then, of course, I'll take good care of things, and recovery is half of the battle in most cases. You're doing just fine. And I think, my angelic nurse, there's going to be plenty more operations, unfortunately, before things have properly been solved. I fear it's a critical illness, a disease that can only be cured by us together, by my tender hands, and by your warm embrace. we're at each other's mercy. But then again, in terms of being sick, I've never felt more happy than I have contracting this illness called love. And I think, no, I know. No matter how much time tries to cure it, I'll always be stuck forever, afflicted in the best kind of way. Perhaps I'll need more than just the operation. But regardless, this day, this feeling, it remains something beyond words. And holding you like this in the aftermath is part of the recovery. Don't get too embarrassed. I'm just holding you in the safest, most efficient way for stealing kisses. No, I assure you, there's always a clinical reason, something to back it. I just haven't thought of it yet. In fact, I'd say it's something extremely important once I find the time to make it, diagnose it properly. Fear it's contagious, as you seem to be quite looking forward to your next kiss. Could it have an addictive quality? I wonder. Now it's making me think maybe I misunderstood it. This illness that I never will be cured from. I fear we're doomed to a terminal disease of being infatuated with one another. Certainly, I hope you won't give up on me, because there's no room left for anything even slightly reminiscent of doubt. And I believe that whether it be today or tomorrow or 100 years from now, we'll find new things, new symptoms, yet no cure. And some part of my doctor's heart doesn't mind that. Because, baby, if I need to have a cure for you, then I'm not living at all. And there's no cure for feeling this amazing. And I'll be damned if I just put you down without snuggling you properly. Your smile, it's so contagious. I dare say it's more contagious than the bubonic plague. That makes me happy, though I must quarantine you to my sweet embrace. Otherwise, someone else might catch it, and we can't have that. Now can we? You're mine. My responsibility. My dear patient. My angel and my nurse. And all of those things, I'm afraid, are conditions we need to find many more cures. But don't get your hopes up too much, because I'm never passing your care regimen to anyone else.